Yeah, like this is the first time where we can have constructive things to talk about, and I think
Like,
the
yeah,
number one thing is Team Goons wasn't like playing bad or anything. I think it was they just got a little bit out of position. They got caught out of position when you had 0-8 on that Olaf and you had Yikes on that shorter range Jin. He just got run down fight after fight, and that's how Tribe established their lead.
Yeah, exactly. Just to lay the foundation for our audience, right? Every time we have a team going against Tribe, it's very hard to think of actual solutions, right? It's like, well, you're gonna have to rotate better. You're gonna have to, farm better. You're gonna have to just get better at hitting the buttons. You have to, and just get better. And it's like we're in this match. It's like if Goons does A, B, and C, they can actually win the game. Like specific little things that they could change, like tactics wise and strategy wise, and if they if one thing had gone different, they could have won, or they could have flipped that game around. So it's definitely exciting to see where we can actually analyze the game instead of just being like, this other team they just have to get better at the game. Sorry.
It's such better feeling being able to say, oh, do this instead of, well, good luck. So I don't know if I'd change anything about the draft though. I think the draft from Goons and Tribe were both fine. Maybe the Jin changes just because it was so vulnerable.
I think the Janna and the Jin, right? Because the Janna has been pretty decent for Goons, but yeah, if you're gonna pair it with a Jin, I don't think it's gonna work too well. Either change both or at least one of them. Yeah, that would be definitely what I am looking for them.
The other thing though, Daniel, is like if they weren't into an Olaf, I think that would have been fine, right? Because the problem wasn't that there was no peel for Yikes. The problem was that the peel didn't matter because Olaf just ignores it and runs at you. So if there was any way if there wasn't an Olaf getting in the way, I think that composition could have worked. The problem is this game, do you pick away the Olaf or do you find a way around it?
Yeah, one of the better ways to deal with an Olaf is you just kind of have to kill him like as quickly as possible, because that Ragnarok obviously it makes you ignore CC, but it also does take away some of your defense in the form of armor or magic resist. So you just want someone who can burn them down, and unfortunately Jin is not that champion. He's not, especially in close range. He can burn you down from pretty far, but at close range he's not going to have the DPS there necessary in order to just really kill someone. So we've gone through the ban phase and no Olaf ban, so it looks like it's going to be an entirely separate draft from Team Goons. They're going to have to figure out a way to deal with Olaf in the actual draft.
Yeah, I think there's two solutions, really, well, three. Number one, pick him. Don't have to deal with him if he's on your team. Number two, different AD carry that has either more self-peel or an escape, something like an Ezreal that can get out. Or number three, draft a little bit more damage. They just had the Orianna helping out that Jin there. There wasn't a way to burn him down. You had very tanky people on the rest of the team who couldn't output enough damage to take down that Olaf, or couldn't even spend attention on the Olaf. So,
yeah,
interested to see, now that Tribe has picked up the Lee Sin, what Team Goons' response will be.
Yeah, I think that Goons doesn't need to pick Olaf right now if that's their decision. Right, because even if Olaf is in the solo lane, he's not going to be participating in team fights as often. Mm-hmm. So I think you're safe. I think you're safe as Team Goons. I'm not really sure why Team Tribe picked Lee Sin so early. Maybe they just really value his early game and kind of afraid of what Team Goons could do with Lee Sin. But I feel like they could have put the fear of God into Goons here with the potential Olaf and kind of forced Goons to burn their first pick on him.
Yeah, I think it's just that Lee Sin is a really strong meta pick right now. He's one of the best early junglers. I'd actually argue he's the best early jungler just because of how potent his ganks are early on without setup. So he can get your team rolling really quickly, and we've seen that Tribe really value that.
Yeah, getting that early lead is for sure a very big deal here. So if you're Goons, you kind of need to just weather the early game and not fall too far behind, because once you get to that mid and late game, Lee Sin suddenly doesn't look so hot. And
it's real bad. So, Daniel, has NA suffered Camille jungle yet?
I haven't watched every single game, but not
From
really.
What you've seen. Okay.
Yeah, no, not a whole lot of Camille jungle.
So that's probably going top then. There is the possibility to flex it, but it is one of those rare things in EU. Basically, just Vex uses it, but is very competent on it. We've seen other junglers picking it up as well. So it is fringe meta, and I would say NA can pick it up, but as it stands in the Baron lane, very strong with the Hextech Ultimatum as an isolation tool, even into Ezreal.
Yeah, I think that Tribe kind of got the better end of this deal here. I feel like Goons probably should have gone for Braum Ezreal here, because, like you were mentioning, Ezreal just provides so much utility, or would have for Goons here. Whether going for against Lee Sin or an Olaf in that situation, and particularly paired with Braum, it would have been really nice. Perhaps Goons maybe goes for a Kai'Sa later, but I don't know. I don't necessarily see the total need to go for the Camille here, especially because we're gonna have the little like shroud, the veil shadow, whatever it's called, from Akali, and then the Hextech Ultimatum, and it's just kind of like a little dance where they do nothing and nothing happens. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a very I don't know if that's a very advantageous situation for them. And you saw how Starting was able to do that. I'm not sure if they're going to put it on Starting or if they're going to put it on the solo laner over the Baron lane there. But yeah, it's I don't think they gained them any advantage with Camille. I think that Ezreal might have been a better pick.
Yeah, I agree. I think Braum Ezreal is the safest lane in the game right now, just because it's impossible to keep out of lane. You can push it in, and Ezreal will have trouble farming, but you can't really like dive and kill it all that easily.
Yeah. Okay, well this happens a lot. Every time Elysian is picked, a Vi is picked on the other side. it's just how things go.
The tradition.
Can you explain it to me? I feel like this happens every single time. Like why? I don't understand like why Vi needs to be picked every time Elysian is picked.
Can't tell ya. My guess is that Vi is the next most reliable early ganker. Especially post 5, she's really good, but even pre 5, you can see we've seen that Vault Breaker into Flash combo that's so incredibly good at locking people down. So I think the idea is you're matching the gank tempo of the Lee Sin so that your team doesn't get outpaced in the early game. Plus, I think Vi's just better late game. I think Vi's just a better Lee Sin late.
Right. What do you think about Evelyn in that situation then? Just having, because she's the one who wants to get that gank early as well.
I think Evelyn's ganks are less reliable, personally, because not only do you need to have the charm, which is a very easy telegraph of your gank coming, but you then need to be able to land follow-up skills. Whereas Vi comes, her mobility move is also hard CC. Like, that is so hard to beat. Not even Lee Sin has that, but he does have similar mobility. So you can come in, close the distance with a knock-up. That is so strong from Vi, and I just don't think Evelyn can compete.
Yeah, it really comes down to the teamwork, though, in my opinion, because Vi has because she has the CC from the charge, but I always feel like she never gets enough damage to kill someone. Every time I see a gank from Vi, it's just like it falls flat. Like, you get them to half, and then they like turn on you or something like that. It just seems to happen a lot in these situations.
I think Evelyn, if your lane has CC, like reliable CC. So like in this lane, I could see the Evelyn because you have both Braum stuns and Jhin roots, on which the Evelyn could follow up. So I can see that if you want that extra damage, if you want that scaling into the later stage of the game. So
yeah, I don't really like the Jhin pick though. Again, it's just you're not facing an Olaf this time. Maybe it'll work better, and maybe you'll be able to deal with the Ezreal. I'll have to see it though. We'll just have to see it in game.
Oh dear, I now agree with you a lot, Daniel.
Wait, what? Sorry.
Well, the Malphite pick plus an Alistar into Jhin, like this is Jin's worst nightmare. You have no appeal against these champions. There's no way to keep yourself safe. Jhin has no mobility. He's squishy as an AD carry. You're just doomed.
You know what? Just don't even get near the fight. Just use your 2s and your ult, and you'll be fine. Just throw some flowers. Just throw out your flowers. Throw some. I mean, you don't need to auto attack. Your auto attack, it just takes a long time anyway. Who needs to auto attack?
Auto attack on the Raptors and then run into the fight in 4th shot real quick, then run back out.
Yeah.
I mean, get creative with it.
Just pretend this is training mode. Put like a hero dummy off to the side so you can like shoot it 3 times. It's like I got my 4th shot ready.
It's like, all right, guys, I'm almost ready to enter the fight. I swear, the Raptors weren't spawned, so I had to go to Krugs. Just give me a second.
I think in AoV on a lot of heroes in that game, they're called heroes, but you could just auto into nothing. Like I remember I would play Jinnar and I would just auto 4 times to get my empowered auto ready. guess it's not really viable in this game.
That's fantastic. That's
The
what we
problem
need.
is,
That's the Jhin buff we need.
yeah, the problem is if you're too close to like the minion wave or something, you start walking toward the minion wave. Like, no, stay in the bush, stay in the bush.
Wait, you're just doing the cross-handed,
Right.
just like, okay,
Right.
no,
Yeah,
no.
and you have to. And the thing is, you have to actually attack within the bush, because sometimes you'll see like the ball fall out of like the bush, and like, wait, he's getting his pass already, isn't he?
I see what you're doing, funny man. This
Yeah.
last pick is taking a while. The Diana, okay, interesting. I'm not too keen on this, Daniel. How are you feeling?
Is there any world where they switch Diana and Camille?
Is that the worst thing? Diana's ones are really difficult to land if you're in the top lane, just because of the curve of the Baron lane.
Oh yeah, true. It curves the wrong way.
Yeah. So could be rough. Like it's not gonna make the pick useless, but also consider that would be really unfortunate if it curves the opposite direction.
That'd be hilarious if they put it in a patch, right? They're like, new patch, buff Diana. Her moon now curves clockwise instead of counterclockwise.
It curves based on what side of the map you're on.
Oh, that would be so confusing though, because like you're like in the middle, you're like in the mid lane, and then your curve just keeps flipping back and forth as you move around. That'd be so funny.
Oh
anyway,
God,
the bracket. We have Goons versus Tribe right now. You see the low bracket right there. Very spicy lower bracket. All these teams are very good, obviously. Snow, Kids Next Door, Shogunate, Team Gut Corki. I know you haven't watched a lot of games. Who would you pick out of that lower bracket to face the loser of our match here?
See, my problem is like I'm really fond of Team Gut Corki because it's got our boy Beginnings on it, and I love him. He's my favorite. I honestly think whoever wins match 26, so Shogunate Gaming versus Team Gut Corki, I think that's going to be the winner. I haven't seen KND yet.
Yeah.
I see they've 2-0'd everyone, but going off what I know now, I think it's going to be either Shogunate or TGC. Whoever wins that is going to make it.
Yeah, I'm going to take a little bit more disciplined response. I'm going to go out on more of a limb, I should say, and actually go and pick Shogunate. I think they're going to get out of that group. And I think they're going to continue their run. They've been very impressive. The only team they've lost to is Tribe, and no one has not lost to Tribe. So
it's true. You are factually correct.
Yeah, and so I think it's going to be Shogunate coming out of there. And that would be a very spicy matchup. If it ends up being Goons versus Shogunate, that would be pretty crazy. Yeah,
that'd be really fun. I've seen it said before from many people in the NA scene that it's really just every tournament's a battle of who's going to get second to Tribe. It really is feeling that way, but I have hope. I think Team Goons could be able to pull it out. I mean, last game was so much closer than I have seen Tribe be brought to.
Yeah, and it's just nice to see another pretty dominant team as well. Obviously, with Team Goons, they just completely smacked down Snow in our previous series, and you know, everything is just better having another good team in this scenario, because no matter what, right? Because if Tribe destroys Goons here, then it's like, wow, they're even better than we thought. And if it's a closer game, then everyone loves to see that competition. So no matter what happens, just having a really nice team in Goons here is just making everything more fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Early game, there's a little bit of a bush trap set up here by the side of Team Goons. Get an auto off and then leave. Braum Jhin just sucks, man. Okay, it's not useless. That was a wild turn. Okay, well, I'm just thinking about it, because you're trying to get 4 stacks, and like, what's Jhin gonna do? He's gonna sit there like, all right, I got one. Give me a second. Oh boy. Yeah. It's good in team fights once you get there, but just trying to get those stacks up is just a nightmare. You know what's really funny? Okay, we'll hold that thought for a second, because my goodness. Yikes is on the wrong side of the map. Yikes. Wait. Yikes, that's a wrong. Yeah, you're going the wrong direction there, buddy. Oh boy. Oh boy. And that is why you first pick Lee Sin. In a nutshell.
Yeah.
He'll just rotate over and kill you.
Those early ganks are nuts. But yeah, I mean,
Anyway.
you can see even in that little mini trade before the fight, you were seeing, all right, there goes the Winter's fight.
TJ.
Oh,
Producer.
God. What the hell? 3-man knockup already in the middle of fight. Tribe find another kill already.
Yeah, they were, for some reason, both teams were kind of congregating over there in the middle of the river. And it didn't go very well for Goons, to say the least.
Just felt like a duel for the honor of the teams. Maybe, oh, I think I know what happened. Team Goons, I think, were calling Tribe on their double scuttle strat. They were trying to stop the double crab from happening, but just could not win the ensuing fight.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a much better place ward here for Tribe than for Goons, as you can see on their mini-map there. So anytime you're kind of going in the middle of the river, it's just going to be completely just thrown out to the opponent.
Hello?
Did he steal that?
0-8? Just dove in, tried to steal the blue buff. Didn't.
No, he didn't, yeah.
Okay. Guma needs to go back in. Oh my god. Yikes is dead. Guma didn't go back in time.
Starting, stop it. Stop it starting. You're starting too much. I can't make a pun out of it, but no, stop. No more starting.
Yeah, we're stopping. That's the new mid laner for Tribe. Okay, so that fight was nuts. Starting's really good on Akali. Maybe for future matches. Maybe ban that one out, because that's a little terrifying. Just in the middle of these early skirmishes, the way they were able to zone off Yikes reminds me of a nature documentary where you zone off the weak one of the herd and then just all go on it.
He's dead again. He's dead again.
The weak one of the herd has been culled once more, D2.
Yeah, you in nature though, you die and you get eaten and it's over though. You don't have to relive the same hell over and over again.
There's no zombie wildebeest coming back to get hunted by the lions once again.
Like, why have I respawned? Who can save me from this eternal hell? Oh my goodness. Anyway, okay. I was about to say something before all these kills went down.
Right, go for it.
So a while back, I'm talking like 4 months ago, like I was on a stream with just playing with TJ, right? And we're just having fun. And it's like, you know what? I've never played Jhin. Let me play Jhin. And he's like, what are you doing? I'm Brawl. Why would you pick Jhin when I'm Brawl? And that just completely brought me back to that memory, because it's like, yeah, even back then it was just like, yep, Jhin and Brawl, not the greatest synergy in the world right there.
Yeah, it makes your lane rough. Your team fights are pretty fun, because they're both pretty decent in a team fight. You've got Jhin to finish off kills, which is something that some compositions struggle with, but otherwise the lane itself is just really rough.
Oh boy. Speaking of rough lanes, we got 4 people running over.
Okay.
They get away.
Survived that one.
Yeah.
Hey, Team Goons get the first tower. We take those.
Yeah, it was a calculated rotation by Goons. They're like, okay, we know we can't take this. We can't contest the Drake at all. So we're gonna have to just rotate everyone over to this top side. They get the turrets. They give up their own turrets in return, but they don't lose anyone additionally. So it turns out okay for them in the end.
Yeah, really fantastic. Here's the replay once again of this weird blue buff fight. So,
yeah. The funny thing is, I was trying to figure out who actually got the blue buff in the end. I was like, because it was so faint on Gume, but yeah, he's able to get away in the end. They get the 1 kill, and yeah, just unfortunate here for Goons.
It was just such a weird position because you end up with like 0-8 by the blue buff, just stranded on an island. Just went over the wall by himself and stood there and didn't get punished for it. Just stood right where that ward is for that entire fight until the rest of the team rotated over. And it's like, someone do something to him, please.
Yeah, well, it's just for kind of recognizing the situation, right? When you know you're in a position like this, that you know that the opponent can't do anything about it, right? You know the limits of your champion, you know the limits of the opposing champion. And we've seen it before, right? Teams try to stand up to it and they just die in the end because they don't know the situation well enough. And 0-8 absolutely knew the situation.
The Rift Herald has spawned.
It's also just intimidating too, right? If you're just in their face and you have this super mobile champion that can get away and you can't really punish him, I mean, it just weighs on you. It really does. I know they're professionals, but it just, like, when they're in your face the entire time, it feels like you can't get into word edgewise.
Yeah, if the Lee Sin's just T-posing on you in your own blue buff, not moving.
Yeah, well, curtain call.
They're punishing onto
Whip.
Max Green here, who still has the ultimate available. Gume looking for the steal. Smite will not find it. There's the Herald
Oh.
over to Tribe Gaming. Good engage there from Rest. Need to find more damage. There's the kill. Gume goes in for the re-engage. Ultimate follows, but Hoon cannot. Gume barely survives. Just a tick of HP left as Rest needs to run away. Flashes out.
Fan is like, let's re-engage. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, Hoon had a very nice ult to catch 3 there, but unfortunately didn't really have much after that. Obviously, the cooldown on his third ability, his teleport, is very long if you can't get the reset. So you didn't have really anything to do there. If he doesn't land his first ability, the moonlight thingy, whatever, he can't really jump on very safely because he can't really continue the fight afterward.
Yeah.
And so you can kind of see why Hoon didn't really want to risk it there.
No escape vector. I do want to call out Max Green did a really good job zoning away from that objective. It almost backfired, but seriously, the amount of time that Alistar stalled with the ultimate with the Gargoyle Stone Plate was insane.
He's just way too beefy. Anyway, here comes the ult. Yeah, the jump in from Hoon catches 3. Yeah, in the end, gets a lot of damage. He actually gets knocked back there, which kind of screws him up. Pops the shield, tries to get back in, and then the team is just too far behind. This is kind of the issue with that Jhin in the end. I mean, we keep ragging on the Jhin pick, but he's just like not there to provide the damage.
Yeah. Well, it's hard. You get bullied so significantly early. You're behind 2,000 gold from your lane opponent. So you're not really threatening any damage at the moment, especially into something tanky like an Alistar. Jhin into tanks is a really tough time. He's into tip.
Yeah, you pop your curtain call, and then Max Green just stands there and takes it, and you're like,
yeah.
Oh.
What are you left with?
This is
you can auto him for like 2 damage, sure.
Yeah, it's just so unfortunate.
Further exacerbated by the Mountain Drake as well. Those shields are going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's gonna get from bad to worse. So now they have extra damage and extra shielding. It's not looking good.
Well, more auto, come on. They didn't get it.
Now, to be fair, every time we get to this position, it feels like one team is ahead, 10k, 15k gold, but it's only 5k still. So, Goons are in this. They're just getting outplayed at every stage, so it just feels like the deficit is bigger, but they're definitely starting to get snowballed on.
Yeah, Lume looks for the engage there, but gets re-engaged on so low. Goes for the Vault Breaker into the backline. I don't know about that one. Old School survives that. The knockbacks from Green are huge. Safety in numbers from Tribe Gaming. Find them 3. Looking for 4. Yikes survives. But the tower doesn't. Herald still pushing into this inhibitor. Uncontested.
The Rift Herald's still alive. What is going on?
They might just get it.
They're gonna get the inhibitor for sure.
Holy.
So, Hoon landed his ult onto 4, and it didn't matter. They just like shrugged it off. They're like, oh, what was that? I feel like I got hit by like some sort of moonlight. I don't even know what happened there. It's just kind of like a weird dream. Like, oh, let's just continue this.
They remembered to put on moon screen before the team fight. Not a whole lot Diana can do.
Moon screen. Yeah, you don't want to get the moon burns there.
Exactly. That's the thing about Diana, though. She goes Roa first, so you just have this 5-minute period where she's just not as strong as anyone else with one item. And there's no lead here for the Goons. There's no way for them to find their way back into this game until that Diana scales up. But by that time, Tribe Gaming are already 9k ahead.
Yeah, well, you just gotta wait for the Rod of Ages to scale there. It's gonna come eventually, and then she looks like she's building the rabbit on Zcap, so maybe? Question mark? Unfortunately, Baron gets taken out from under the nose, so not too great. This is probably the best thing they can do, though. It's just to have MTS split pushing.
Yeah, get something off this rough fight.
Okay, look at this ult. She goes in. Okay, there's the jump in, and then he gets like, okay, it was only 3, sorry, but they're just like whatever, and it's so awkward. It's so strange to see one team get CC'd like that, but the other team has no health bars. It's like, what? What's happening?
That's the key to these team fights. Old School safe the whole time.
Usually the team that gets knocked up, they just get blown into oblivion. It's like the complete opposite. They get knocked up, the other team's dead. Like, what is happening right now?
The Uno reverse card of team fights.
It's like, no, you. It's like, I got you in my grasp. No, you.
How could I have seen this coming?
Oh boy. Yeah, so they don't even. There's not even any split pushing going on right now. The Baron buff is pushing on their inhibitor turrets. This might be the beginning of the end. Even an 11k goal deficit is starting to become too much.
Yeah. 11k at 11 minutes is really brutal. They're even doing the great job of ferrying the Baron minions in, so that they're going to be attacking the Nexus, and you have to go respond. Nothing you can do but defend.
Yeah, that's such an important point there, right? Because if you just go for the inhibitor turrets on the side lanes, then they can potentially be guarded. But if you have super minions coming through the mid, you have to do something about it. You can see some chip damage on the Nexus already.
There you go.
All inhibitors down. That's game. Usually that's game when all inhibitor turrets are down. You just, like, the super minions are just way too hard to deal with.
Oh, Tribe, this is brutal. It's the right play, but it just seems so mean. They're not even going to go for it. Instead, opting for this Ocean Drake, which they should be able to secure. Team Goons, though, really looking to contest.
Well, they have nothing else to do other than try to go for a Hail Mary team fight. So I'm for it. Mastery will not die.
No, he is so big. Just knockup after knockup. It just does not matter what Team Goons are doing. Tribe will not die. They're just steadfastly refusing. Rest so low as Yikes gets pushed under the tower by Max Green. Quadra kill for starting. Come on, give it to him. Yikes, be good. No, he's going for the execute. One last denial as the Nexus begins to fall. Tribe Gaming find the 2-0 and make their way into the grand finals.
We thought Goons could be the team to do it. We thought they could maybe take a game, perhaps a series against Tribe, because they look so good so far. But Tribe just too strong, man. Just too strong. 2-0.